Hey, yo, what is up, guys? Okay, so it's been a little bit, not really a little bit, it's just been a couple of days. But I have just read the story Hatchet. I finished it last night, and I've spent all of today at work, so to speak, collecting my thoughts. Um, this was the first book I've done that was recommended by a subscriber, and I have to say this may be the last time I am doing that because I did not enjoy my read. And I have a whole plethora of notes right here as to why. But before we get into that, I did say I worked today, and I did work before I did the review. So, sorry, it's just my awesome girlfriend texting me. So, what the story is about is it is about a little boy, forgetting his name right now, doesn't really matter. And he is trying to survive the entire time in the wilderness. And while he's doing that, he only ends up being able to eat fish and turkey. So I have from Potbelly a tuna turkey sandwich with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other cheeseburger stuff because he keeps on talking about how badly he wants a cheeseburger throughout the entire book. I'm not expecting this to be good, but cheers if you are also eating the sandwich. I might need to get through this. Ah. Whew. So, anyways, um, let me just end it so I can think. So, in essence, just what the story is about, and this is the entire story, mind you. It is a kid whose parents are going through a divorce. He ends up in a plane crash, and he's surviving in the Canadian wilderness. And he ends up surviving for, believe it is 58 days. Excuse me, I got tuna burps. And yeah, so he ends up surviving for a whole 58 days, which, mind you, I'm going to get into later why that is so impressive. It's actually almost impossible for a 13-year-old to achieve. But yes, he is 13 this entire time. And his parents are going through a divorce, and he ends up making it out alive. Woohoo! So, this is apparently a children's story. And I think it has a couple of materials that I don't think are especially for kids, or maybe for anyone in that matter. But there's some stuff going on. I would not let my child read this book. Well, I mean, I think I would. It's actually pretty nice. The only thing I'm thinking of is a scene where his mom is making out with a dude that's not his dad. But that's not seen as a good thing, right? It's said that like that's what caused a divorce, a bunch of stuff. So I think I'm okay with that, actually. So no, that's bad. No, 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 no. You don't go kissing other guys. No. But, anyways, in the story about a man lost in the woods, I would think that there are some things that any author worth their salt would mention that I was kind of waiting to just come up, but then never did. So, like my top note here, waiting for grandiose metaphors of the human condition or biblical parallels to the plights and trials of the Israelites 40 years journeying to the promised land. And I never really saw the 13-year-old make thoughts. I never really saw him make those kinds of connections that I was really, really expecting out of this novel. And I have to say that is very disappointing. Whoa, hang on. My hair's kind of doing a thing right now. Yo, that's crazy. All right. And also, just I have to mention this. He survives the entire 58 days drinking unfiltered lake water in Canadian wilderness. My brother, don't know his name, But you cannot just do that. You cannot just do that. Like my girlfriend's father, he has a whole setup. Okay, he has a whole thing for water filtration that you need in order to survive 58 days in the wilderness that he did not have. He made no way. I watched 2 seasons of the television show Alone. Okay, if you know what that is, you know what that is. And I also did a couple of years of summer camp. So that gives me full authority to say, no way this kid actually did what he did. Unrealistic story. Get it out of my face right now. This story at times, and maybe particularly because it is meant for children, but it sounds like XQC stuttering and suffering his way through speaking English. You know, where he goes, I, just to say the word I one time. It sounds like that. He will say, the hatchet I have, the hatchet I got from my mother, the hatchet. I don't need to be reminded every time, my guy. We don't got to be reminded. He says everything 3 times in a row. I remember it, so maybe for dumb children and dumb frat boys and college dropouts like me, that part of it is perfect. But when I was actually reading it, it felt very disruptive to everything that was really going on. Well, every single time I make a sandwich based off a book, like doing this, and then now doing Dracula. I mean, doing Dracula, you know what I mean. The more I eat it, like, the more along the way, I end up liking it towards the end. Like, maybe I kind of fuck with tuna. I hear that tuna actually has a pretty decent amount of protein too, so that might be great. If the gym. I thought the premise of this book was actually pretty good. I really did. I think what was missing was a larger amount of kind of flashbacks about this kid's life from before he was in, this dangerous wilderness situation from before, and make that about the divorce. Because I think a lot of the times what the book was doing, it was, there's a very common storytelling trick. It's called show, don't tell. And a lot of the times when it was saying, like, the kid was just sitting there and he was saying, oh, I'm so hungry. I miss this. He was saying, I miss this from my house. I miss this from my house. I miss this from my mom. I miss this from my dad. When I believe in reality, what should have been done is we should have been able to see the before and where he is, so we could piece that together ourselves. And you already have a perfectly good topic of revolving that entire side past story around the divorce. I feel like doing something like that would have really propelled this. And maybe that's too complicated for a child to understand. Maybe this is a children's book. I don't know. When I was a child, I read most of the How to Train Your Dragon books and most of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. And I have even the complicated task of completing the maze in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid Make Your Own book. I actually got to project. There's a way to do it, fellas. There's a way to do it. Anywho. There is okay. Yeah, I think that would have been much better, because then you're showing the audience how he's changed rather than him telling you how changed and how he's going about it. I think it just needed a lot more of that. A lot more. Like, get one big pot belly tuna scoopful show don't tell onto this bad boy. I think you got a pretty solid story. I think you do. I haven't really opened this yet. And quite honestly, I was drinking a lot in the hotel room over Valentine's Day with my girlfriend, my buddy from Chicago, and his girlfriend. So I think I'm actually just gonna put this back. Put that on the literature dropout breaking character list or something. I don't know. I'm making these videos in the full expectation that there will be compilations of certain things I do in these videos, say burping or explaining things or going on tangents that are completely unrelated. Or just completely awkward silences. I would love to see a video that is just me in various outfits, just with all my awkward silences. Just now, this is actually on the breaking character. I have on here, talk about your sandwich more. It's gone. I know I've only just begun my reviewing classic literature journey. However, something I do fear in the future is some of my content getting stale. Now, within the literature space, within everything, there are many questions that have puzzled the minds of many authors and analysts that I believe certainly I have actually the best crack at answering and the most authority here to answer them in the first place. Say a question I posed myself in my car while I was listening to Beowulf and remembering some of the other epic poems I've listened to. I wonder who would have the highest bench press between Odysseus, Beowulf, and Macbeth. That is a video that I would love to make soon. Or another question I had, it was, could Sam and Dean Winchester completely fend off against Dracula's army? That might be one I have to watch a bit more Supernatural for. I've only seen seasons 1 through 5. Well, I can always just say I'm only using seasons 1 through 5 Sam and Dean and just call it good. Because I've heard the show gets crazy after that, where they, like, fight God or something. But I would like to make different matchup videos like that in the future, like across stories. So I would like to hear in the comments how good of an idea you think that is, and how much you'd like to see it. But for now, if you want to see those matchup videos, please give this video a like. I don't care. I'll do them anyways, but I just want to know what questions you have that you'd like answered, because I will answer any question. I might not answer it correctly, but I can answer any question posed to me. All right.